Right next to him is Mr. Neil Grunewald from DGB Bellingham. Welcome. And we have Richard Tischow from Middelbush, London winemaker. Welcome, sir. Last but not least is Carl van der Merwe from D. Montezon Winery. I think you've had some good feel of South African wines and South African styles of wine production. This is the final presentation. The wines are good, guaranteed, and presentation is also good. Give a wealth of information, ask questions as we move along, and enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you, Matura. Thanks very much. Good day, everybody. It's wonderful to be back in Chicago. Great, great city, and with the Chicago Blues Festival on the go, I think we should look at a serious link up with them to the Chicago Shannon Festival every year. Yeah, let's get a Chicago Shannon Festival going. We can do something with it. We've got a dozen Shannons in front of you. We're going to go through this rollicking roller coaster of Chenin Blanc. And you can see there are no small opinions here. Every one of us has got some passion to share with you and what we do with our Chenin Blanc and how it is. We are, I would say, synonymous. Chenin Blanc is synonymous with South Africa. It's become that way. If you say Sauvignon Blanc in wine terms, people are immediately thinking of New Zealand. And I think we've managed to get to a point in South Africa now where that is the USP of our white brigade is Chenin Blanc. We have the most wonderful God-given opportunity to produce fantastic Chenin Blancs because Chenin Blanc thrives in cool sunshine. Now that might just sound like a crazy concept, but if you think about the Loire Valley in France, it is almost at the same latitude as Champagne, and it's an absolutely marginal region that only in their good, hot vintages do they make exceptional wines, and boy, do they make exceptional Chenin Blanc. But you've got to go to vintages like 1947, 1955, 1963, and if you look back over the years, they're looking on average at about one great vintage in every 7 or 8 years because of their climatic, who knows, with global warming or climate change as it's called, perhaps that's all going to be a little bit better for them. But we have the opportunity, we've got sunshine, a given, we've got it in the bank. What we need to get great Chenin is elevation, ocean breezes, and that gives us that opportunity for cool sites. The Cape region where we grow Chenin Blanc, you'll see some pictures as we go along, the most wonderful, the most magnificent crushed fold mountains. And we're talking about mountains that rise from the sea immediately within 3 or 4 miles from the ocean to 3,000 feet. And you've got that opportunity of having a north, south, east, west, any slope you wish, and the cooler slopes present wonderful opportunities. So we have old vineyards, more than half, or approximately half of the world's Chenin Blanc grown in South Africa. And then the French have been extremely kind to us because they've never called their wine Chenin Blanc. They call it Sauvignon, Vouvray, Bonzo, Anjou Blanc. So we have this in terms of the public domain. We've got free reign, and I think we might just register the name Chenin and call it our own. You know, go figure. It's a fantastic opportunity. Chenin Blanc as well, in terms of being a great food wine, the most marvelous accompaniment to food because of its natural acidity. So there's a whole lot going for it, and without a doubt, it's the one white wine that will keep, that will last, that will age fantastically. We've been lucky enough to recently present a 10-year vertical tasting with our own Chenin Blanc to the press in South Africa. And we're going to go through the wines, I think, and as we go through them, show you some of the variations, the variety, the styles, tank fermented, barrel fermented, different soils, different positions. Let's start off with that very first wine, the Cederberg Chenin Blanc. Really, really interesting. About 2.5 hours northwest of Cape Town, on the road up to Namibia virtually. And the Cederberg is a high mountain plateau. We're talking about vineyards over 1,000 meters above sea level. Quite extraordinary. There's this inland plateau. They have really, really dry conditions, You're talking about that decomposed sandstone and sandstone decomposed granite and really cool conditions. The winemaker here, David Nivot, harvests his Chenin Blanc and takes it to the crush pad, presses it, settles absolutely clear, puts the wine into tank and ferment, and by this stage he's already almost finished his fermentation of his Sauvignon Blanc, and he frequently adds some of those lees, the dead yeast cells, after the Sauvignon Blanc ferment, he adds to this. And this wine has an incredible freshness, a wonderful zip in the acidity. Beautiful minerality. Absolutely clean. It smells a little like Sauvignon Blanc, but now you know why.
Cheers.
He's taken the lees out of the Sauvignon Blanc. You know, the lees are the most wonderful protection for making wine.
How do you actually take the leaves out? You just empty whatever you're in?
After you've drained your tank, you'll be left with your lees, and you'll transfer those lees into the tank, or pump the Chenin onto the lees.
Is Sauvignon Blanc and Chenin Blanc related?
Not that I know. No, I don't believe they are. I think they're actually a little far away from each other.
Put most of it on the block.
So you said he's
Sometimes the sweet.
on the leaves of the Sauvignon Blanc?
Yeah,
Yes.
as much as I
Anyone else
can.
doing that?
Not that I'm
Much
aware of.
juices I've got.
He likes the.
It's also it's fermenting is actually passing the lees over.
Passing the lees
Yeah,
over.
it's not actually, it's already fermented on its own lees,
Yeah.
and then the lees are actually passed over the wine. It's actually a kind of finding, a yeast finding. It's a very, very natural finding.
The lees are native tongue in South Africa, Afrikaans. We refer to the lees as the mother of the fermentation. The moeder. Short term would be the moeder. It's because it cares for the wine. The lees really does care, and it's a clarification process.
Would you kind of say that Chenin is as versatile as Chardonnay?
Far more so.
Far more?
Far more so.
Really?
Yeah. I think the versatility of Chenin Blanc is one of its greatest features. Chenin Blanc produces the most fantastic sparkling wine. This, if you have a look at, as we take you on this rollicking roller coaster ride of Chenin today, you could make up your mind at the end and come back. Let's see if we can agree on it. See what you think. The next wine is a wine which I happen to know when it was grapes.
Of course. Really?
This is our reserve Chenin Blanc from the 2010 vintage. And this has just been in bottle now for a short while, probably about, not quite 3 months, 2.5 months in bottle. This has been harvested, everything hand harvested, so it's a selection, and then crushed, taken to tank, settled, not entirely clear. I like to leave some solids in the fermentation, and then fermented in barrels, 60% fermented in barrels, natural, spontaneous wild yeast fermentation, large French oak, all 400-liter barrels, and only about 20% new. Only about 20% new. After the fermentation, we leave the wine in barrel for 9 to 10 months, and then we've got 40% in tank that we blend back, and this is what we call our reserve. This is the estate reserve, all of our estate fruit, from a 37-year-old vineyard.
How much would this retail for?
This retails at around about $13, $12 or $13. I think you'll find as we go through this that South African wines, as we are attempting to enter the market, come into the market, are providing the most fantastic value. It might be a little biased when I say that, but I think we're trading at a discount to value that you will get the most extraordinary value. I was very, very, very happy to have a client who was pouring wine in New York and poured one of these wines. And the gentleman said, you could put a label on that from another country, and he mentioned the country, and you could be selling that at $25 all day long. Nobody would blink. Nobody would blink. So this wine is barrel fermented. You can see the oak. What the oak has done here, that 9 or 10 months in oak, has given the wine a richness, a softness across the palate. There's been a nice autolysis.
Do you have any favorite food pairings with this?
Food pairings with this, I would certainly look at shellfish. I'd look at shrimp. Look at maybe some scallops, shellfish, definitely crawfish maybe. And you could use spice with this. You can use chili peppers. Chenin gives the most amazing fruit result with spice. You know, something like Sauvignon Blanc mixed with spice, you're going to end up with the Third World War going on in your palate.